Well, we forgot to do the most important thing.
Welcome to Toilet Paper Pot. Is that what you were talking about?
Yes, but I'll do it for you. Welcome to Toilet Paper Math, the only podcast where we wipe side to side instead of front to back.
We don't do that. I don't do that. Don't be putting that on my. No, I don't do that.
It's okay. It's okay. You wipe back to front. Got you.
Hell no. Stop putting that
It's all
on
right.
my name. No, we might have to change the name of the goddamn. You go do some nut shit like that. But welcome to the show. I have a lot of opinions about a lot of things. It's been an interesting week. Especially with the fallout with the motherfucking nigga from I Hate Politics. That conversation was so fucking stupid. I wish I recorded it, but I'm also glad I didn't record it because God, that was such a waste of fucking time.
That was the guy that was supposed to I don't know if audit's the right word, but kind of critique what we had going on so far.
Yeah, he had critiques for our last video. Not really critiques. It's like, you know the arguments already. It's always the same arguments. It's literally the same argument that this is about to be. And that's why I've been wanting to make a video about his video on this exact same situation that we're about to see from Lucas all week. But yeah, just to set the tone of where my headspace is, because I agree with Lucas on this.
He's also low IQ. I think, his elevator doesn't go to the top. He's not the sharpest tool in the shed. He's a few clowns short of a circus. I mean, there's many ways to describe this person. But he goes up there.
I agree. Every descriptor. No, I'm not even gonna say all that. I'm not gonna be disrespectful. As disrespectful as that conversation was, and as much as I wanted to be disrespectful in return at the time, because I was forced to think on it for a couple days, I'm not going to be disrespectful. But the arguments in and of themselves are still fucking bullshit. I want to get to the point and then hear it normally.
And he's talking about how young people, how Democrats don't know how to talk to young people, and he criticizes Al Green.
Yesterday you had Al Green up here talking about we need a Secretary of Reconciliation, and then that's going to include what he said was reparations, which, by the way, wasn't reparations. Reparations is more than a check, but the very first thing it is a check. And come this year during the midterms and in 2028, if you don't have our check, you won't get no vote.
What? And he's talking about how it's basically, for lack of better words, a trick bag. It's a trick bag family, and that it's reparations, but it's not reparations.
What are your thoughts on that?
You said it's reparations, but it's not reparations.
No, what that nigga asked about.
Run it back one more time.
And
that nigga look like Jeff
Al
T.
Green.
Yesterday you had
He
Al
looked like
Green up
TT
here
from the
talking
game.
about we need a Secretary of Reconciliation, and then that's going to include what he said was reparations, which, by the way, wasn't reparations. Reparations is more than a check, but the very first thing it is a check. And come this year during the midterms and in 2028, if you don't have our check, you won't get no vote.
What? And he...
I mean, I get what he's trying to do, but given where we're at and what our options are, that's gonna backfire pretty bad.
It is going to backfire. Not only is it going to backfire, it's going to make all of us look... It's going to make black people specifically look very fucking stupid. And I'm hearing that sentiment from The Jam, I Hate Politics, bunch of other black people. Well, I'm not going to say bunch of other black people, but I am hearing that specific narrative from the black community over and over and over again. And also what I'm not seeing is black thought leaders speaking out against that shit. I don't like that FD just went up there and I'm getting ahead of myself. So, These bastards are so fucking arrogant and condescending. Listen to this bullshit.
Guess what? I'm the doctor, and I got something that will cure your mind if this is too complex for you, okay? But my question for you is,
no plans.
do politicians,
Nigga, if you're gonna talk, pause it, because I can't listen to you and that at the same time.
Your vote.
Hear this again. Hear this dumb shit, bro. I'm so sick.
Okay, just don't speak then.
Okay? But my question for you is, do politicians supposed to earn your vote? And that's a real question. And it's a really, I try to.
What do you think?
In a perfect world, yes. And when I say yes,
no, I take that back. Yeah, I take that. Yeah, you're right. I take that back. No, continue. I think yeah.
I go.
No, I'm just saying. I think I'm about to agree with what you were going to say, but go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, in like the perfect world, yes, I think you earn your votes by, like, you know, actually putting out what your ideas are, what different legislations and shit you're trying to put out. I don't think like votes are bought, but I think it's about like what you're campaigning on and if it aligns with what I think or what I can just like agree with and think is the right way to go about doing things. That's what I think it is in earning the vote.
In a perfect world, yes, but in this world,
you vote for the least shitty person and the person that has the best interest.
It's really that simple. And people go so far out of their way to make it complicated. And it's like, I'm starting to think you niggas are paid for. I'm starting to think.
Well, the only way I think it gets quote unquote complicated is when you are voting based off what is the best interest for you versus what is the best interest for the whole. That's the only time I can see it getting complicated.
Right. But what I was saying when I was having the conversation with him offline, again, I wish I recorded that shit. But I was telling them, y'all get so, because there was another dude in there, this nigga DJ, and was like, well, we voted for Obama, and what did we get from Obama? And I was trying to explain to this nigga that black people, the black community specifically, I'm sorry, I definitely don't want to be misconstrued as one of them niggas. I'm not one of them Anton Daniels. I'm not one of them Candace Owens. Side note, Candace going through some shit right now, but that's us. I'm not one of them niggas though. But I'm accurately gonna call out that the black community failed Obama in, what was that? That would have been 2010. When we lost Congress. You can see, if you go and look up all the bills that Obama passed and shit, you can see it's like it's like 11 bills passed in his first year and some change. And then the midterms happened and we failed to give him Congress, and then like nothing happens till the second half of his second term. You know what I'm saying? When he regains control of Congress. And then by then it's kind of too late to get the Supreme Court choice because Mitch McConnell's a bastard. And yeah. And I'm trying to explain to folk that, like, y'all want all these things to happen, but you also only want to show up and give a damn once and then go back to whatever the fuck it is you do all day. And it don't work that way. So when you say these politicians got to earn your vote, you not even giving your whole vote. You not even doing all of your part. You know what I'm saying? You putting them up. You sending these troops to war without good rifles or ammunition, talking about why y'all losing. And they was refusing to understand that part. Watch, you'll see.
Try to make it as simple as possible, because in my opinion, that is the cornerstone of democracy. If you don't understand that, and if it's something that veers off from that, you don't have a real democracy.
You don't know what
politicians, by design, by their job title, is supposed to earn your vote.
In a perfect world, but part of being a leftist is being able to engage with whatever the fuck word they used for it to make it like, hey, you have to engage with the real world as it is, not this ideal bullshit that we get caught up in our head. And also, this nigga talks slow, so. And then he'd be like, and then the conversation, he'd be like, well, let me get to my point. Let me finish my point. All right, what is your plan? Well, first of all, you gotta go back to 1967 and it's just like, nigga, but at this pace. And I'm just like, how you gonna help Palestine? Fucking A.
Point blank, period. Pretty simple, right? But unfortunately, we are in a political environment to where it's not like that. And we have two camps of Democratic voters. And if I don't talk about Republicans as
well, that's an accurate assessment. Let's see what else.
much, because honestly, they are not in this equation. They are so far gone from reality politics, it's not even worth talking about. We already know they are disgusting, they're hateful, they're racist, fascist, anything that you can think of. That's the Republican Party. Unfortunately, they are not in this conversation of democracy at the moment. Okay.
My mistake. I thought he said Democrats. Could have swore he said Democrats.
So, in regards to Democratic voters, there's two camps. Okay, this is my opinion. If you guys want to elaborate on this conversation, because I don't want to make this a 3-hour video, join the Discord in the description down below so we can have a one-on-one or a group conversation about this subject. But there's two types of Democrat voters that I'm noticing. One is we need to do all we can. We need to vote for whoever.
Wait, am I bugging? Did he just say there's two types of Democrat voters and then said something about Republicans and then went back to saying there's two types of Democrat voters?
Bro, so I'm not tripping either, because I could have swore he had said Democrats and then he's... Huh? I feel
trying to figure out if I'm misunderstanding something.
No, I feel like this nigga might have misspoke a couple times, because I'm like, I could have swore you said the opposite of what you're talking about right now, but I'm going to let it rock.
Well, no, run it back to that part and then we just got to listen intently.
Democrat voters that I'm noticing. Description down below so we can have a one-on-one or a group conversation about this subject. But there's two types of Democrat voters that I'm noticing. One is we need to do all we can. We need to vote for whoever just to get Republicans out of office. Even if that's on a local level, to the House, to the Senate, to the presidency, we need to vote for any blue ass over any Republican, which has its reasoning. So we have that camp. Then we have...
It's the most simple, logical, and most battle-proven strategy that we have. At this point, against the fucking Nazis, I will vote for Johnny 2x4 with President Plank for president over any Republican at this point. You understand? That's how serious this shit is. And I'm like, this is how Weimar Germany turned into Nazi Germany.
Have those who I would consider myself, those who are so sick of the status quo. We are so sick of this voting for the lesser evil. We're sick of the voting Democrats and they literally do very little or nothing. We're tired of that type of politics. So we are now demanding Democrats to listen to us on what we demand in regards to politics. And if you can't deliver that, if you can't run on a campaign on what the people are asking, we're not going to vote for you. Point blank, period. That's simple. It's nothing to it.
He said...
Do you see the obvious flaws in that logic?
He said, if you're not going to run for what we're asking for, then we're not going to vote for you. Is that what I heard?
Mm-hmm. That's accurate. That's what he said. That's what they all say. They all are on that camp. Do you understand why that's stupid?
I mean, I get the sentiment, but the way things are currently, it's not the viable option.
In a perfect world, that is a very logical, insane take that I would agree with. But we don't live in that world. We're fighting the goddamn Fourth Reich right now. Because what's his name? Remember that white dude Paul I showed you? He's on a world tour right now. He done went to like France, Spain, and I think he's back now, but he went to France, Spain, and Germany. And all the Europeans are like, America, Y'all, what, y'all just letting him be Hitler, huh? Okay. Good job, America. Don't make us drop a nuke on you. Like, all I'm saying is once the shooting starts, please come help the rebels. But yeah, anything before I go? Because I wanted him to get to this, I ain't gonna hold, this is hard. But I want to get to the, his commentary on the whatchamacallit. You got any more?
No, you're good. Go ahead.
We have to earn our vote with policies that reflect the needs of the people. So, I say all that to say this here, or to show this here.
Wait, I got one more thing. It's because that's the argument that they stand on, comes across to the majority of liberal voters, because like that stream we was just watching with the Destiny and the and that Indian dude, and they pulled up that poll. It was basically 2/3 of the Democratic voting base. Yeah, 2/3 of the Democratic voting base thinks that the Democrat Party should move a bit more closer to the center, while 1/3 of the voting base thinks they should go further to the left. And it's like, when that 2/3 looks at the third, saying shit like this, y'all come across so unserious. You know what I mean? Like, you come across like children. You come across like, are y'all not? Do y'all not have the same eyes to see what's going on like everybody else and get on team fuck Trump? Is that too much to ask? You know what I mean?
I mean, to be fair, I think they are team fuck Trump.
No, I don't mean to cut you off. I don't mean to cut you off, but I made damn sure to ask that question. I gave them every charitable fucking variable I could think of to ask that question. I said, in a perfect scenario, you run a perfect campaign with the perfect progressive candidate all the way up to the goddamn Democratic primary, and they lose against the establishment Democrat. Will you vote for the establishment Democrat? And all fucking three of them said no. So no, these are not serious actors. These are not honest people. These are children, petulant children, sick and tired of being the good guy. I keep saying, you know what, this is why I say being the good guy fucking sucks. And say what you want about Vosh, I don't like Vosh. He done really fell the fuck off ever since that goddamn horse bullshit. But one thing he said that always stuck with me: the fight is forever. You win some, you lose some, you die, you pass the baton. There's always some new asshole, some new despot, some new tyrant, some petty little Nazi wannabe that's gonna stick his head out from his goddamn mom's basement and try to do all this over again. It is literally our job as people who think about these and have enough wherewithal to give a fuck to make sure that doesn't happen. But the way that these people approach politics is they don't want to have to do that consistently. They want to show up, vote once, fix everything, and then go back to not giving a fuck about anything at all. That's what they come across as. Or am I off the mark?
I can see where you get that from, but I'm not gonna just go ahead and say they're on the Trump bandwagon.
It's not being on the Trump bandwagon. It's because
that's what we were originally saying, and then you kind of low-key went on a.
No, it's not that they're on
a tangent.
It's not that they're on the Trump bandwagon. They're just okay with Trump winning because they're accelerationist at the core of all of it. And that's what I said to our friend. That's why I be calling them out on. I'm like, you're not saying what you actually believe out loud, because what you really believe is you want all of this to fall apart, have anarchy in the street, so y'all can have your mass populist revolution where all the workers mass in the street with their clubs and their pitchforks and make a run on the goddamn White House and booyah revolution. Che Guevara would be proud. That's what they want. They won't say it because it sounds fucking stupid, but that's what they want. And it's funny because I watched the Civil War movie and I see how the decision. A lot of people say that movie's unrealistic. I'm like, no, that movie's very realistic based on certain deciding fact. You know how like in a Fallout game you made this decision 27 missions ago and it affected this type shit? It's realistic in the sense that at certain points in the timeline, certain decisions that you can't unmake were made, and now we're here now. So if you follow that logic tree, yes, this movie makes perfect sense. And in that movie, they say something about the Antifa massacre in the beginning of it, and now that I think about it, I'm like the Antifa crowd, the people who run out there with the t-shirts and the mask, those motherfuckers, like, to be Antifa is normal. To be anti-fascist is like to be a moral human being, but those motherfuckers go too far. But they say in the movie there was an Antifa massacre, and I'm like, you know what? I guarantee those dickheads tried to make a mass run on the White House, and they got airstriked. But that's what they want.
I don't know what to say about that. I heard of Antifa. I ain't really like peep what all they were doing. I do recall seeing like images of the like niggas pulling up, low key similar to ICE, like face mask, guns, yada yada. But yeah, I don't know. I never like tuned in to see what they was on, and honestly, it's been a while since I've heard anything about them. So I'm assuming that movement in and of itself is low key kind of dead.
They all turned into this. They all turned into these niggas. It's all the same thought process. It's all the same desires. It's all the same logic. It's all the same arguments. They just turned into this shit. Oh shit, watch.